Okay, I know what you're thinking. How is Oklahoma the capital of anything other than grassy plains and tornadoes? But take a minute to sit with this shock. Although if you live in Oklahoma, you may already know this. Mary Jane, pot, a roach, weed, ganja, the devil's lettuce, or whatever you call it. Oklahoma, or Toklahoma, is the place to go for a doobie. Despite it being a conservative state known for God, guns, and grass, it is also known for another type of grass. In this video, we'll look at some of the reasons that have made Oklahoma the mecca for medical marijuana. Stay tuned to the end to see the least friendly states towards cannabis. Number 1 is the law. In June 2018, Oklahomans voted in favor of State Question 788 to legalize medical marijuana. The conservative governor at the time put the vote on the primary ballot in the summer rather than the general election in the fall, assuming that the lower turnout would kill the bill. Plot twist, it didn't go as planned. Instead, turnout was overwhelming, and it passed with a 13% margin of victory. The legalization of medical weed is probably the biggest contributor to its status as the beacon for blunts. Getting a business license in Oklahoma is ridiculously cheap and incredibly easy. It only costs $2,500 for a permit compared to Colorado and California, where the total cost is in the 6 figures. Number 2 is quantity. Oklahoma has 3 times the number of dispensaries as California, but only a tenth of the population. Many would assume that there would be a much larger market in California with its population. However, in Oklahoma, there is no limit to how many dispensaries can be in a town or area, and municipalities cannot pass ordinances banning them. Did Oklahoma just become a true boomer state for dispensaries? Yep. As of last year, there were 2,300 dispensaries in the state of Oklahoma. By comparison, Colorado has about 1,000 dispensaries and California about 885. That is quite the disparity, considering the population is less than 4 million compared to California, which has nearly 40 million people. Number 3 is the medical loophole. While cannabis is illegal for recreational use in Oklahoma, it's more than legal for medical use. And since the medical use of marijuana is broad and relatively unchecked, it seems to be fairly easy to get your hands on it. Medical marijuana is a term for derivatives of the cannabis sativa plant that are used to ease symptoms caused by certain medical conditions. Cannabis sativa contains many active compounds. The best known are delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol, THC, and cannabidiol, CBD. THC is the main ingredient that makes people high. Acceptable uses for this medical miracle are vast. Alzheimer's disease, ALS, HIV/AIDS, Crohn's disease, epilepsy and seizures, glaucoma, multiple sclerosis and muscle spasms, severe and chronic pain, severe nausea or vomiting caused by cancer treatment, and more are all valid reasons to hit up a local dispensary. As the stats show, it's not hard for anyone to get a prescription. Nearly 10% of the state have prescriptions, and for those that just want to get high, it's not hard to fake chronic pain. In fact, while many states have very strict policies on who can access a prescription for pot, Oklahoma doesn't have any specific qualifying conditions to access a prescriptions. Residents joke that you can have a stubbed toe and get a license, whereas in other states like California, you need to have 47 symptoms and 6 diagnosed diseases before even being allowed to talk to a doctor and dare to ask about beginning the process of getting a license. Which seems a little odd for liberal California, but look at Oklahoma go. Number 4 is the easing up of laws on tribal lands. In Oklahoma, the use of any form of cannabis on tribal lands was prohibited and punished as a criminal offense. In 2021, the Choctaw Nation Tribal Council members passed a temporary amendment regarding the use of medical marijuana for Native Americans living within the tribe's jurisdiction. Prior to April of 2021, Native Americans who fell under the criminal jurisdiction of the tribe who were caught using medical marijuana risked jail time and fines. Keep in mind that Oklahoma has a significant percentage of tribal lands as compared to other states. With these more relaxed policies, the use in the state increases substantially, as many Native Americans have opted to get in the booming business of blunts, the group's growing grass, and the company of cannabis. Number 5 is the ability to smoke it just about anywhere. Consumption is allowed anywhere that tobacco smoking is allowed, from public streets to bars. This is wildly freeing for those who would ordinarily have to smoke secretly in their homes or in the high school bathroom, hoping that teachers aren't smart enough to smell the apparent odor wafting from under the door and down the hallway. But I digress. The fact that it is legal to smoke in locations with the same frequency as tobacco means that Oklahoma has made its mark in terms of places to come and get high. This also means that if you access your goods from another state, you can more or less smoke it freely in public in Oklahoma. The odds of someone on the street randomly asking you for your medical license is slim to none unless you are smoking directly in the face of a police officer. This draws many people to the state for tourism highs, where they can cross state lines to enjoy a more freeing high. Number 6 is the numbers. The amount of people who have gotten in on the action has boosted its status as the Mecca of Mary Jane. As of June 1st, 2023, Oklahoma was the proud keeper of a total of 11,636 medical marijuana businesses, according to the Oklahoma Medical Marijuana Authority. That's up over 2,000 since June 2020. These businesses include 7,850 growers, 2,264 dispensaries, 1,402 processors, 81 transporters, 25 testing labs, and 10 waste disposal businesses. Sales have gone up 25% since 2020 and are now soaring to over $1 billion. This billion-dollar industry has far surpassed any other state. Ohio, for example, which legalized medical use in 2016 and has 3 times the population as Oklahoma, only raked in about $350 million in sales. This doesn't even compare to Oklahoma's billion-plus numbers. Number 7 is the patients. It doesn't matter how many people are selling medical cannabis or how many dispensaries there are if no one is there to buy it. But luckily for the Sooner State, this is not an issue. Oklahoma has 369,247 registered patients in their medical marijuana program and 2,255 caregivers, which represents nearly 10% of the state's population. That's the highest per capita number of patients of any other state in the US. Can you imagine being an OU student walking down Campus Corner and utilizing your medical license at will as you walk from restaurant to bar? It seems like you're back in college in the 60s. Number 8 is the mom and pop business startup opportunities. For many people, the idea of starting a business can be daunting. If you open a coffee shop, you'd be competing with the likes of Starbucks. If you open a local food market, you'll be up against Publix, Kroger, Trader Joe's, and Whole Foods. If you open a clothing store, you're up against Walmart and Amazon. But when it comes to opening a dispensary, there aren't any big corporate conglomerates to compete against. Getting a startup license in Oklahoma is only $2,500, so many see that as an opportunity for entrepreneurship. While it will still cost a substantial amount of money to open a business, such as leasing a space, stocking the shelves with supplies, getting the rights, permits, etc., there is an almost guaranteed success. To put it in perspective, nationwide, only 20% of new restaurants will succeed. While significantly more dispensaries will be profitable, this won't be the case forever. Oklahoma is already seeing a frustration among business owners in the industry because of oversaturation. Many complain that Oklahoma gives out too many business licenses, which floods the state with too much competition. Those who got in early in the game have seen a lot more initial success, but as time goes on and inflation looms, the businesses are becoming less lucrative. We've established that Oklahoma is the place to go for grass, but what about the least friendly states when it comes to getting buzzed? The following states have no legal programs and have made no attempts to reduce penalties or fully decriminalize cannabis. Naturally, you'll want to avoid these states if you're affiliated with cannabis, as they are the most restrictive to cannabis culture. Idaho, South Carolina, and Wyoming are 3, and the 4th is ironic since it is next to Oklahoma, and that's Kansas. That's right, you can be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law for lighting up in Kansas, but step over the state line and it's a free-for-all. Are you interested in learning more about why the Deep South is so unique and different? Click this image to hear all about it.